So this is called the 10 Commandments of whitetail deer hunting. 10 Commandments of deer hunting. Okay, so let me give you a background. I've been hunting whitetail deer in the southeast now. I don't hunt out west. I don't hunt up north. So I'm very region specific, and I hunt in the foothills of the Appalachian Mountains. So I think the techniques will work anywhere. These rules will apply anywhere. But just I don't go all over hunting. Okay, I have been out west. I've hunted a little bit out west years ago. Okay, so what I want to do is lay out what I believe to be the 10 Commandments of deer hunting to help you be a better deer hunter. Now, I am a certified wildlife biologist. I am retired from my job with the state of Alabama. However, I still work with landowners and help them manage their deer herds. Okay, and I still hunt deer, you know, a lot during the deer season. Our deer season is long. Archery season starts in October, middle of October it goes, and now we go to like February the 10th. So it's a long deer season. So I'll probably average about 3 days a week or more hunting deer. Now, let me go ahead and qualify. When I'm saying the 10 Commandments of deer hunting, I'm talking about deer in general. I'm not a trophy hunter. I'm a meat hunter. Okay? And I help landowners, I assist landowners by helping them manage their deer herds, which means we take a lot of antlerless deer off the property. We must take them off, and that'll be another series of teachings when we talk about deer management, deer biology, and things like that. But just for this video series, we're going to talk about some things if you put into practice, I believe will make you a better deer hunter, more successful deer hunter overall. If you're just wanting to maybe harvest more animals every year and put more meat on the table. Like I said, I'm a meat hunter. I'm not a trophy hunter. I want to emphasize that. If you're a trophy hunter, God bless you. More power to you. I'm here with you. I'm right beside you. Go for it. Go hunt the trophies. Hunt the big deer. That's fine. I see plenty of big deer. I help landowners manage for mature bucks. I see them, but I just don't. I don't harvest them. Well, one reason is it's an agreement I have with the landowner for the most part not to harvest their mature bucks. And the second thing is it just doesn't do anything. I'm just a meat hunter. Okay, I like to hear my gun go off. I like to drag deer out of the woods. I like to eat venison. I believe people should have the freedom to pursue whatever avenue they want to in hunting. If you want to hunt trophies, like I said, I'm with you. Hunters need to stick together. I'm with you. So I'm not against you if you hunt trophies. What I use deer antlers for when I do kill a buck is to make knives. I use them for knife handles. Yeah, I know. Kind of crazy, isn't it? So, with all that said, let me just say, I believe the first rule for the first commandment of deer hunting is simply this: know the animal. Know as much about the animal that you're hunting as you can. Now we're talking about whitetail deer, but this could go for anything. It could go for wild turkeys, squirrels, ducks, whatever. Know as much about the animal as you can. Now you can read all kind of articles. You can read books on whitetail deer and all that kind of stuff. You can watch videos until you're, just cross-eyed from watching videos. Nothing will take the place of getting out in the woods and observing whitetail deer and being in their presence. Nothing can take that place of take the place of that. So what I'm going to suggest to you is that during the off season, when the deer are not as spooked and they're not as rattled because they're not people in the woods hunting them, get out, get in the presence of deer, watch deer, and then learn what you can do in their presence, how much movement you can make. Watch them and see how aware they are, because they're going to be less aware during the off season than they are during the hunting season. Okay, so study their biology, know where they eat, what their habits are, go in to areas and see where they're bedding. If it's your hunting area, learn where their bedding areas are, where their feeding areas, and then what they're feeding on. Try to learn what they're feeding on during certain times of the year, because their feeding habits are going to change depending on what's in season. Like when soft mast trees are dropping their mast, like persimmons and things like that, and plums, deer may key in on that. Whereas when the acorns are dropping in the fall, they may key in on the acorns and feed on them heavily. Or when maybe you have corn crops close by, when the corn comes in, they may focus on corn or soybeans or something. Anyway, know the animal. I think that's commandment number one. Know the animal you're hunting. Know as much about it as you can. Spend time in the woods. Get in the presence of those animals. Now, I'll go ahead and add the second commandment, I believe. The second commandment for whitetail deer hunting. And that is, hunt where the deer are, not where you want them to be. Hunt where the deer are, not where you want them to be. Okay? How many times have you been going to a stand, and you leave your truck or your side by side or something, and you're walking to a stand and you're jumping deer, okay? But you're going to a place that you want to hunt. Maybe it's a field, maybe it's a blind or something like that. Maybe it's a very pretty hollow, and you're jumping deer on the way, maybe on the way there and on the way back. So hunt where the deer are. If you're continually, consistently jumping deer in this one area, going to another area, then it's time to back off and hunt the area where you keep seeing deer and keep jumping deer. For some reason, they're using that area. Chances are it's a thicker area. It's an area where they feel safer, and so that's why you keep seeing them there. So a lot of times the very pretty areas, like the big open hollows with a nice creek running down, they're very aesthetically pleasing, but and every now and then you may kill a deer in that hollow, but a lot of times the deer are not using that because it's too wide open. Whereas they may, especially after they get a little pressure, they may stay in the thickets. Okay, so that's 1 and 2. All right, know as much about the animals you're hunting as you possibly can, and 2, hunt where the deer are, not where you want them to be. Hunt where they are, not where you want them to be. All right, hope you'll come back for the next video where we'll cover commandments number 3 and 4.